Billionaire discovers his cleaner dancing with his disabled daughter. What happened next shocked everyone, a twist no one saw coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more dramatic, touching and unexpected folktale stories. Richard Bennett stood alone in his office, holding a warm cup of coffee in both hands. Outside the tall glass window, the sky was grey, and rain clouds were slowly gathering. The city below looked busy, but Richard couldn't hear it. He was lost in his thoughts. He wasn't thinking about business meetings or new deals. He was thinking about the accident. 3 years ago, he had been in a car with his wife, Claire, and their daughter, Emily. It had been a happy afternoon. They were singing in the car, laughing. But then it started to rain. The roads became slippery, and a truck lost control. It hit their car badly. Claire didn't survive. Emily, who was only 12 at the time, survived, but the crash broke her back. She became disabled and would never walk again. Since that day, she had lived in a wheelchair. Richard blinked and looked down into his coffee. It had gone cold. He had tried to stay strong after the accident. He threw himself into his work. He told himself he had to build more, earn more for Emily. He hired nurses, tutors and cooks. He filled her room with books, toys and even a piano. But none of it worked. Emily stopped talking much. She stopped smiling. She didn't want to go to school, and she didn't want to see anyone. She spent most of her time in her room, staring out the window or playing soft music on the piano. Richard didn't know how to help her. Every time he saw her in the wheelchair, he felt a deep pain in his heart. He wanted to fix things, but he didn't know how. He sighed and walked back to his desk, trying to focus on his work. But he couldn't shake the feeling that he had lost both, his wife and his daughter, that day. Just then, there was a knock on his door. "Come in," he said. His assistant walked in. "Sir, the new cleaner started today. Her name is Sophia. She's just 19, from the agency." Richard nodded without much thought. "That's fine. Would you like her to clean the upper hallway too?" He hesitated. "No. Keep her on the lower floors for now." "Understood," the assistant said then. Sophia was 25 years old. She had just started working as a cleaner in Mr. Richard Bennett's large, quiet mansion. On her first day, the head maid told her the rules. Clean only where you're told. Don't speak to the family. And never go near the last room down the hallway. That room belonged to Emily, Mr. Bennett's daughter. Sophia didn't know much about her, only that Emily was disabled and stayed in a wheelchair. The staff said she didn't talk or smile. Some even said she hadn't left her room in years. One quiet afternoon, while mopping upstairs, Sophia began to hum a soft tune. It was a song her mother used to sing to her when she was little. "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." The melody floated through the hallway. She didn't realize how clearly it could be heard. Suddenly, Sophia heard a gentle click. She turned around. The last door, the one she was told never to approach, was slowly opening. And then something shocking happened. A girl stood in the doorway. She was young, around 15, with long brown hair and tired eyes. She was standing. Where did you learn that song?" the girl asked softly. Sophia stepped forward slowly. "My mother sang it to me when I was a child." Tears filled the girl's eyes. "My mom sang it to me too." She took one shaky step forward, and immediately fell. "Emily," Sophia cried, running to her side. Without hesitation, she gently helped the girl off the floor and lifted her back into the wheelchair. Emily's hands clutched the arms of the chair tightly. Her breathing was fast. Sophia knelt in front of her and looked into her eyes. "Did you just walk?" Emily blinked in shock, then looked away. "We have to tell your dad," Sophia said gently. "This is something he should know." "No," Emily said quickly. her voice sharp and small. Don't tell him. Sophia paused. Why not? He's too busy to care about me, Emily said quietly. He only works. I don't even think he notices I'm still here. Sophia's heart ached. She sat beside her and took her hand. That's not true. You matter. More than you know. Emily looked down at their hands. I used to think no one would ever talk to me again. But you did. Sophia smiled softly. That's what friends do. A small smile formed on Emily's lips. Will you sing it again? I'll sing it every day if you like, Sophia said. And from that day, something changed. Not just in Emily's room, but in her heart. For the first time in years, she didn't feel invisible. She felt seen. The next afternoon, the sun shone softly through the windows of the big house. Sophia returned to the hallway outside Emily's room, holding a small music player in her hand. When she opened the door, Emily was already sitting in her wheelchair, waiting with a smile. You came back, Emily said happily. I told you I would, Sophia replied. She placed the music player on the table and pressed play. The same soft tune began to play, You Are My Sunshine. The piano notes filled the room like warm light. Sophia smiled and stepped to the center of the room. She twirled gently and clapped her hands, just like she did before. Ready? She asked. Emily nodded. Sophia walked behind Emily's wheelchair and slowly spun her in a wide, careful circle. Emily lifted her arms and moved them with the music, laughing with joy. They danced together, Sophia guiding the chair while Emily moved her arms in time with the melody. It wasn't a fast or fancy dance, but it was full of feeling. It was soft, pure, beautiful. Then something even more magical happened. Emily began to sing. Her voice was gentle at first, almost shy. You are my sunshine. My only sunshine. Sophia joined in softly. You make me happy when skies are grey. Their voices filled the room. The music, the laughter, the joy. It was like the house itself was waking up. What they didn't know was that Mr. Bennet had come home early that day. He had left a meeting feeling tired and restless. Something in his heart told him to go home. As he stepped into the house, the head maid rushed to him. Sir, she said nervously, there's something you should know. The new cleaner, Sophia, she is with your daughter. What do you mean? Mr. Bennet asked. She's in her room, the maid said, worried. She's playing music, dancing. Mr. Bennet frowned and hurried upstairs. The maids followed behind, whispering. Sure, he was about to get angry and fire Sophia. But when Mr. Bennet opened the door, he froze. There in the room was his daughter, smiling, singing, dancing. He stood in silence as Emily and Sophia finished the song. When the music stopped, Emily turned around and saw him. Her smile faded. Dad. Sophia quickly stood up. Sir? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break any rules. She wanted to, but Mr. Bennet raised his hand gently. Wait, he said softly. He walked slowly into the room, his eyes never leaving his daughter. You were singing, he said. Emily nodded slowly. You were. Dancing, he whispered. I was happy, she said, her voice trembling. Mr. Bennet took a deep breath. His eyes were wet. I haven't seen you smile in years. And then, to everyone's surprise, he smiled back. The room was quiet after the song ended. Emily sat in her wheelchair, her heart beating fast. She had never seen her father look like that before, his strong face now soft, his eyes wet with tears. The maid stood by the door, frozen, not knowing what would happen next. Mr. Bennet stepped closer to his daughter. I can't believe this, he said, kneeling beside her. You were dancing, you were singing. Emily looked down. It was Sophia. She helped me remember what joy feels like. Mr. Bennet turned to Sophia. Thank you. he said sincerely. I thought I had lost her forever. Sophia smiled. She was never lost, sir. She just needed someone to see her. For a moment, no one said anything. Then Mr. Bennet stood and walked to the window. He looked outside, and back at his daughter. I spent so many years working, he said quietly, trying to fill this house with everything money could buy. But I forgot the one thing money can't give me, you. Emily's eyes filled with tears. You stopped looking at me after Mom died. Mr. Bennet's voice cracked. Because every time I looked at you, I saw her, and it hurt too much. But I never stopped loving you. Emily. I just didn't know how to show it. I thought you didn't care. She said. I'm sorry. He whispered, kneeling in front of her again. From now on, I will listen. I will sit with you. I will sing if you want me to, I promise. Emily smiled and reached out. He held her hand tightly. The headmaid stepped forward. Still worried. Sir, about Sophia. Should we? Mr. Bennet shook his head quickly. Sophia isn't just a cleaner. She's the reason my daughter smiled today. She stays. The other workers looked at each other, surprised and a little relieved. In the days that followed, everything began to change. Sophia continued to visit Emily's room every afternoon. They danced, sang, and even painted. The music returned to the house, real music, full of life. Mr. Bennet started coming home early. Sometimes he joined them. One evening, he even sang along. His voice wasn't great, but it made Emily laugh. He also made another decision. He set up a small charity in his wife's name to support children living with disabilities. Emily helped design the logo. Sophia helped name it. Sunshine Hope. One evening, as Sophia pushed Emily into the garden to feel the breeze, Emily said, You changed my life. Sophia smiled. You changed mine too. Do you think we can really make a difference? Emily asked. You already have, Sophia replied. As the sun began to set, Mr. Bennet joined them outside. He brought 3 cups of hot cocoa. They sat together, no longer a lonely billionaire, a sad daughter, and a quiet cleaner, but a new kind of family. And for the first time in a long time, the house felt full of light.